Ultra Instinct is a technique that has multiple different layers behind it. First and foremost, it's an ability that can theoretically be used by anybody through the mastery of self-movement, but as we all know, it's not easy to pull off, as even the gods of destruction have had trouble mastering it. We've seen Goku, though, not only use the principles of this technique with flying colors, but he's also been able to tap into different transformations to better utilize and refine his usage of Ultra Instinct. We've also seen him pull off something that, for the most part, has existed with no explanation, that giant ki avatar technique. Currently, Goku has only used this giant form 2 times in the Dragonball Super manga, once when he defeated Moro after receiving Oob's divine energy, and twice when he used it to throw gas into space. Other than those 2 very brief moments, Goku has not had the chance to use this technique again, and it's never even been acknowledged by him or any of the other characters. The mystery surrounding this technique, and the fact that it literally popped up out of nowhere, has had fans speculating about it for years now, but at least we've seen it in back-to-back story arcs, so it wasn't a one-and-done type of technique. Instead, Goku's giant form has served as his last trump card for the last 2 major bad guys that he's gone up against. As we all know, one-and-dones in Dragon Ball tend to go unexplained, and fans are left to piece everything together, so we're fortunate enough to know a few things about this giant form through confirmations from Toyotaro himself and through context clues. Toyotaro confirmed that Goku mastered the Ultra Instinct ability during the final battle against Moro, which resulted in him taking the technique a step beyond to create this humongous ki projection of himself. Knowing this, and after having seen the giant form in 2 of the previous 3 arcs, it's safe to assume that Goku will pull out the giant form in future battles. Maybe during the climactic showdown against Black Frieza, but if not against Frieza, then at the very least, Goku could use it as a method of furthering his version of Ultra Instinct during training sessions that he has with friends and family, now that they all have their own quote-unquote Ultra forms. Now, unlike other typical giant forms that clearly alter the user's physical body, like the Saiyans having the ability to grow into Uzarus, Namekians being able to grow in size, or Yardrats having the freedom to grow or shrink thanks to spirit control, the UI giant form is a ki alteration technique that takes Goku's divine Ultra Instinct aura and molds it into a gigantic see-through lookalike of his body, which was confirmed in a recent scan by VJump. Dragon Ball is no stranger to having techniques that can create figures out of ki. In the past, we've seen characters being shown capable of making humanoid figures and animal-like objects through variations of ki manipulation. We saw in episode 12 of Dragon Ball Super when Goku and Beerus summoned those colored dragons. We've seen Merge Zamasu summon that giant purple bird through his Wall of Light technique, and most famously, Gotenks has summoned an army of kamikaze ghosts that seem to have minds of their own, which is the closest that we've ever gotten to avatar projection, but not quite on the same level as Goku's giant form. Goku's Dragon Fist is one of the most popular examples of this ki creation concept, and it's such an iconic ability that I'm honestly shocked that we haven't seen it be brought into canon material. What makes this technique worth mentioning is that the Golden Shenron summoned during the attack is shown to have a physical weight behind it, as seen when it wraps around Hirudegarn's body, holding him in place. Based on that and prior knowledge of techniques like the Ghost Kamikaze attack, characters can create ki that bear a solid state, and that is exactly what we see with Goku's giant form. In Dragon Ball Super Chapter 66, he's able to hold Moro down and push him with such incredible force. Then, in Chapter 86, Goku was able to pick up and toss gas around like a bug. It's incredible that he's able to move the giant form around and grab things with such precision, almost as if he himself grew to the size of a skyscraper. Yet, unlike other physical transformations, he's not held back by speed because the technique is nothing more than a simple energy projection. His physical body didn't actually grow. We can, however, still see Goku's physical body inside of this projection, like he's controlling it on the inside, almost like a Titan shifter from Attack on Titan. And speaking of other anime, this type of avatar projection is something that we have never seen in Dragon Ball before. Like I mentioned, we've seen characters create objects and creatures out of ki, but they've never been inside of it, piloting it around like a giant mech. In fact, this concept is so out of left field, so non-Dragon Ball to the point that one of the most popular nicknames for this technique is Goku Susanoo, because it looks exactly like the technique of the same name from Naruto, which, in turn, was inspired by Eastern culture. Dragon Ball ultimately took a risk by randomly throwing this into the climax of the Moro arc with no outright explanation, but really the manga did a great job at building up to its reveal even if we didn't have it straight up explained. The Moro arc revolved heavily around the introduction, development, and incorporation of techniques, both new and old. It was not a story about breaking limits and achieving new transformations, at least not necessarily. It was instead a story of training and discovering new abilities. Both Goku and Vegeta went on their separate paths to learn new techniques and ways to improve upon older ones. While Vegeta was busy on Planet Yardrat learning spirit control from Baibara and practicing things like instant transmission and forced spirit fission, Goku was dead set on tapping into and mastering Ultra Instinct, which he later did thanks to the sacrifice of his mentor and friend, Maris. Vegeta's character arc in the Moro arc was focused more on discovery of new techniques. He was learning new things left and right, which served as a direct opposite to Goku's character arc, where he was more focused on growth. He didn't need to learn anything new, he was wanting to refine the things he already had access to, and we saw that during his training with Maris. Goku not only perfected and mastered his version of Ultra Instinct Sign, but he also gained full control of that silver-haired version of UI, which was the direct payoff of everything that he was working toward. Then, after mastering Ultra Instinct, Goku exceeded everyone's expectations by tapping into something that no one has ever seen before, something that nobody thought was possible, and now it's a method for him to continue pushing Ultra Instinct in a direction that is more suitable for him. And for all we know, the giant form is something that is exclusive to Goku because it's something that he came up with, and is something that the angels don't even have access to. But until we see more of it in the future and learn more about it in future story arcs, we might never know. But all in all, the giant form is mysterious. It's a new concept that we haven't seen before in Dragon Ball, yet it's something that bears heavy resemblance to techniques that we've seen in the past. It's a doorway for Goku to take Ultra Instinct in a direction that is entirely unique to him, and I couldn't be more excited to see it implemented in the future alongside things like true Ultra Instinct. But I want to hear from you. What are some of your thoughts on Goku's giant form? What name do you use for it? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below, and as always, thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you're a fan of all things Dragon Ball, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when my next video drops. Until then, I'm InnovativeJdawg, and I will be seeing all of you Dragon Ball fans later. See ya!